I'm 31 years old, and if you're listening to me right now, I want you to pause for just a moment. Not because it's a secret, but because most people don't realize it until it's too late to do anything about it. Life doesn't feel short when you're living it. It feels long, endless even. You wake up, you go to work, you make plans, you put things off, and you tell yourself, I've got time. I said that for decades, and I believed it. Time doesn't disappear all at once, it goes quietly. You work hard now so you can live later. You sacrifice now so you can enjoy later. Everything was later. Well, this is later, and I'm telling you, later comes faster than you think. You don't get back the moments you rush through, the conversations you cut short, the times you said not now, the moments where someone needed you present, and you were somewhere else in your head. They're gone. And the hardest part is you don't feel it when it's happening. That's how people lose their lives without ever noticing it. These days, my life is quiet, smaller than it used to be. I wake up early, earlier than I want to most days. Sleep doesn't hold on to you the same way when you get older. So I lie there for a few minutes and I listen. There's a certain sound a house makes when it's empty. You don't notice it when life is full. But when it's just you, you hear everything. The floor, the walls, the wind against the windows. Silence has a weight to it. I used to run from that. Turn on the TV. Fill the space. Keep noise around me at all times. Because silence forces you to feel, and I spent most of my life avoiding that. If you avoid your feelings long enough, you don't escape them. You delay them, and one day they're all waiting for you at once. So I stopped running, not all at once, but slowly I started sitting in the quiet. At first it was uncomfortable. My mind didn't slow down. It got louder. Regrets, old memories, things I wish I had said and things I wish I hadn't. It all came back. And I thought I was making a mistake. But then something changed. When you stop running from your thoughts, they stop chasing you. They settle. They soften. They lose their grip. That's something I wish I understood earlier. Your feelings are not the problem. Avoiding them is. These days, I live slower. Not because I planned it, but because life slowed me down whether I was ready or not. Slowing down doesn't automatically mean you start living. You have to choose that. So I started small. I started walking every day. No phone, no distractions. Just walking. At first I hated it. It felt pointless, like I should be doing something more productive. But I kept going, and eventually it became the most honest part of my day. I also started paying attention to things I ignored my whole life. The way light moves across a room, the way the air feels in the morning, the way time actually passes when you're not rushing it. I used to think those things didn't matter. Now I realize that was life. Not the big events, not the achievements. I want you to slow down for a moment. Not your body, your mind. Because most of us move through life so quickly that we never truly notice we're living it. We wake up thinking about what needs to be done. We rush through mornings. We answer messages while thinking about tomorrow. We finish one task only to immediately search for the next. And somewhere along the way, life becomes a list of responsibilities, deadlines, expectations, things we promise ourselves we'll finally enjoy later. I used to believe life would begin once everything felt settled, once I was secure enough, successful enough, prepared enough. I thought peace existed somewhere ahead of me. But life doesn't wait in the future. It happens in ordinary mornings, in simple conversations, in moments so small, we don't realize they are important until they're gone. For years, I rushed through those moments. I hurried through meals. I ended conversations too quickly. I postponed visits, and I assumed there would always be another chance. And one day I realized something unsettling. The moments I barely noticed were the ones that shaped my life the most. A meaningful life isn't built from grand achievements. It's built from presence, from choosing to fully experience what is already happening. But most people miss this, not because they don't care about life, but because they believe real living starts later, after the promotion, after the stress ends, after things calm down. We live as if life is a rehearsal, as if the real performance hasn't started yet. I lived that way for a very long time. I believed being responsible meant avoiding mistakes, being careful, being predictable. I chose stability over uncertainty, safety over curiosity, control over adventure. And yes, that path gave me security. But security alone cannot fill a life, because safety protects you, yet it quietly builds invisible walls. It prevents heartbreak, but it also prevents deep connection. It keeps you from failure, but it also keeps you from discovering who you might become. There's something no one explains when you're young. You imagine regret comes from failure, but that isn't true. Failure fades, embarrassment fades, mistakes fade. Even painful memories soften with time. What remains is the life you never allowed yourself to live, the risks you convinced yourself were unrealistic, the dreams you delayed until they disappeared, the words you almost said but swallowed instead. Absence stays longer than failure ever does. I remember moments when fear made decisions for me, moments when I chose comfort instead of honesty. I told myself there would be a better time, a clearer moment, a safer opportunity. But the truth is, life rarely announces the right moment. You create it, or you lose it. Time has a quiet way of teaching this lesson. At first, days feel endless. Time has a quiet way of teaching this lesson. At first, days feel endless. You believe you have unlimited chances, unlimited conversations, unlimited tomorrows. But gradually, without warning, you begin to notice change. People you love grow older. Places change. Voices disappear from your daily life, and suddenly you understand nothing was guaranteed. Not the ordinary days, not the familiar routines, not even the people you assumed would always be there. These days, I reach out to people more often. Sometimes I call with nothing important to say, and I used to think that was pointless. Now I understand something simple. Connection was never about important words. It was about presence, about letting someone feel remembered. I listen longer now. I allow silence in conversations. I notice expressions. I hear emotions hidden between sentences. Because listening is one of the purest forms of love. I used to rush meals. Now I taste them. I used to walk while thinking about where I needed to be next. Now I notice the air, the light, the sound of footsteps. I used to treat moments as obstacles between goals. Now I see they were the goal all along. You don't have as much time as you think, but you have enough. Enough to change how you live, starting today. Enough to forgive someone you've held anger toward. Enough to forgive yourself. Enough to begin again. Oops. We waste enormous energy waiting to feel ready, waiting until fear disappears, waiting until confidence arrives, waiting until life becomes certain. But certainty never comes. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to while fear is still present. Some of the most meaningful moments in my life began with uncertainty. A conversation I almost avoided, a decision I almost postponed, a step I almost didn't take. Life expanded each time I chose experience over hesitation. And here's something else time teaches. Happiness was never dramatic. It was quiet. It lived in mornings without urgency, in laughter shared unexpectedly, in sitting beside someone without needing to speak. I spent years chasing extraordinary happiness. I imagined joy would arrive with achievement. But real joy was already there, hidden inside ordinary days. When you're young, you think life is about becoming someone impressive. Later, you realize life was about becoming present.